Today, there are approximately 500,000 people of Filipino ancestry living in Canada. In British Columbia, it has surpassed the 100,000 mark. Let us look back to the lives of Filipino pioneers who called Canada their home in the 1950s and 60s.
We were only 7 Filipinos when, aside from the consular people that I recall, 3 of us were doctors and 4 were nurses. The nurses wanted to form a Philippine association. We started one.
Dr. Tecson completed his medical degree at the University of Santo Tomas in Manila, interned for 1 year in Hawaii, then finished his psychiatry training in St. Louis, Missouri.
There was this opportunity to come to Canada as a landed immigrant. The plan was to stay here for 2 years and then go back to the States. I went to English Bay and Stanley Park and I said, my God, this is it. I never thought of going back to the States anymore.
Migration of Filipino healthcare professionals assisted in filling the labor shortage gap in North America. The United States offered an exchange visitor program allowing Filipino doctors, dentists, and nurses to train in various hospitals. Dr. Rufino Olivar left the Philippines in 1957, trained in the U.S. for 5 years before moving to Canada in 1962.
I saw this listing of hospitals in Canada, so I applied. That's where I applied at the Royal Victoria Hospital, affiliated with Miguel University. We were only 4 of us foreigners, and I was the only Filipino who was accepted at the dental school. When we were in Montreal, a lot of snow, and we heard about Vancouver, a beautiful city. You go up skiing the mountain in the morning, and you go down in the afternoon and go sailing. I worked with Vancouver City Health, and then I was stationed in Vancouver General Hospital. During lunchtime, I go down and walk around in the lobby, and there are some few Filipino nurses. That's how I get to know some of the Filipinos here. You could hardly see any Filipino downtown.
I left Philippines when I was 1967, studied in the United States for 2 years before I came up and joined my parents immigrating in Canada in 69. It was such a friendly city. Everybody likes each other. There's not much crime during that time.
While touring Canada as a teenager with his father, Joseph discovered that his grandfather was one of the railway workers who came in the early 1900s, found his gravesite in Regina.
I studied hotel restaurant management, graduated from BCIT. I've been working with restaurant and hotels, so gaining a lot of experience before I started the business. I opened the restaurant in 1974. I fell in love and asked her to marry me. In 6 months we got married.
I met Mrs. Olivar when I was in New York. Well, I was staying in an apartment where she was staying with her cousin. So we met each other then. We got married in New York, and then my first daughter was born in New Jersey.
Well, when I went down to Seattle, I saw Julia. I said, wow, that's it. She came with the Bayanihan troop to UBC. I saw her there. It was a very short duration because Julia was going to Fordham University as she had a chance. My offer to her was, you could have Vancouver and me. You would lose Fordham and New York. But, you've seen Vancouver. She was at UBC, a beautiful setting there. So I think things work out pretty well.
They donated personal collection of artifacts, ceramics, carvings, textile, and paintings at the Vancouver Museum at UBC.
Find out what your really important interests outside of the office and join whatever group or society they belong to. Immediately there you have. Half of them will be instantly friends already because you're one of them.
I persevered. That's what I did. Keep on going forward, looking forward. That's how I think. That's how I achieve my ambition.
One of Dr. Olivar's daughters is a dentist and the other a hygienist. The family actively participates in events and highly regarded by the community. Joseph and Doris Lee have 3 children. The eldest son is a psychiatrist practicing in Vancouver. The second son works for Ernst & Young, and daughter for the government.
In any business, you got to continue and put the best effort into it, or else they can go down really fast. We followed this idea, and we all our family work together and continue working hard on it until today.